Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Black Clover. Last time around we had The One I've Set My Heart On, where Finral took Luck and Asta to a mixer to try to hook up with girls. Noelle also went secretly to keep an eye on them, mainly to keep an eye on Asta. And Luck and Finral apparently lucked out of their dates, and Asta did connect with the girl he was talking to, Rebecca. However, his heart is set on another. Someone from the same village as him, because it's Sister Lily, but all Noelle heard was same, so she thought, well, same, squad could be her. So, yeah. And, that's pretty much where we left it. It's a nice, fun, goofy episode. But today we have something special. Not really. Today, from what I am told, we have a recap episode. I am no stranger to recap episodes in anime. I remember there was, one during Full Metal Alchemist, and I basically did exactly what I'm going to do here, which is we're going to be doubling up today's episode. So, we're doing episode 29 and episode 30, and probably in the reaction highlight, I'm just going to be zooming past episode 29. There might be one or two clips from that, depending on if I say anything. So, I don't know. And the dog's barking outside. I don't know why. Also, it's the day after daylight savings time as I'm recording this, so I'm exhausted. So, it might actually be nice to have this episode as this first episode here to basically get me awake, wake me up, and then we'll get into episode 30. And this Tuesday we'll still have episode 31. So you're getting 3 episodes this week, unless you're in the playlists afterwards, at which point it doesn't really matter, does it? Anywho, let's just jump right into episode 29 and episode 30 of Black Clover. Here we go.
A few minutes later.
I have an idea. Maybe I'll keep this in the video too. Because one thing about Black Clover is, for some reason, I guess just my settings on Crunchyroll, it always defaults to the dub, and then I have to switch it over to the Japanese version. Why don't I try out the dub? Just for this one episode, just for this episode of Black Clover, because it's a recap episode, nothing's really important. I'm going to try out the dub on episode 29. We'll probably still just have a few clips of me being like, oh my god, that's what they sound like, and then we'll move on to episode 30, and that'll be sub. So, let's do that. That sounds like fun. Alrighty. It's 2 for the price of 1. 2 for the price of 1. But, quite honestly, there's really nothing much to talk about with episode 29. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed watching the English dub. I hope you guys enjoyed the few clips that I put in, too. It was nice, definitely. I will say, though, pretty much, it's definitely a thing of, if I were to recommend Black Clover to someone, I can now comfortably recommend the dub, now that I've seen that episode. The only thing that the sub has over the dub, they're both pretty equal, but the one thing that the sub has over the dub, I'm just gonna say, is subtitles on Gordon. That's really it. Other than that, that's a very, very good English dub, and I really like it, so maybe on the next recap episode we'll do that again. So anywho, so episode 30. Interesting. We're kind of getting into presumably an arc. Maybe it's a mini arc. I don't know. But, more terrorists. Though I imagine this is another kind of one-off terror. Well, have we had one-off terrorists yet? I guess not, technically. Because we had the terrorists, the ice guy, but he was working for the, boss man Frank. So it's him, and then the guys from the last arc. The whole thing with Mars and Lotus, they weren't even really, I don't know, do you qualify them as terrorists or just foreign enemies? I don't know, is it terrorism or is it just foreign combatants? I don't know. I'm sure that's just splitting hairs, really. But they weren't really, causing terror in an occupied, city, with with innocent citizens or anything. They were just going through the dungeon, so they were really just enemy combatants. But yeah. But this does not seem like he's linked with the other, with the group of terrorists. Like, this guy seems like, honestly, this just looks like an old, like, fairy tale, honestly, which I like that. You know, we're kind of going back a bit to that, to the, you know, wizards and witch imagery that we had more towards the beginning of the show. Like, as the show has gone on, I feel like they've kind of lessened that a little bit, but I like this, you know, just in this town, the snow, all the kids being hypnotized and they walk away and there's someone on a broomstick being like, ah, yes, now you will be my friend. Like, this looks like a fairy tale now. And I like that. That's really cool. So yeah, he definitely seems to be on his own. And obviously we'll probably find out more in the next episode, but he definitely seems to be a sort of one-off villain. But I like that. I like that we get another one-off villain. That's really nice. So, okay. How do you say this guy's name? Gauche? Gauche? Yeah. I'm gonna call him Gauche, because that seems to be kind of how they pronounce it. So, so Gauche. I'm hoping that this little, you know, arc or mini arc or whatever this is, I'm hoping that this will show us that he can actually be good. Because right now, the thing is, like, and don't get me wrong, like, there are some funny moments of, you know, him trying to kill Asta and stuff like that. But other than that, he's an incredibly uninteresting character, you know? Like, but I'm hoping we get a bit more of that, you know? I'm hoping we get a bit more of him, because, like, I mean, you could even look at, like, Magna at the beginning, like, okay, and here's the delinquent character. What's his thing? He's a delinquent. But then pretty quickly after being introduced to him, you know, we got to really know him, and then especially that first arc, where they were in that, in the one village with the ice guys, then we really got to know him, and you really got to like him, you know? And kind of the same with Luck, where it's like, okay, here's this kid, he loves fighting, he just, you know, wants to fight all the time and stuff, and then it's just, but then you get to know him, and, you know, you see how he works with others, and it's like, okay, that's really good. So I'm hoping that's what's happening with Gauche. I don't know. That would be cool. That would be really cool if they did that, but I don't know. I don't know, because it's very tricky. It's very tricky because he's just so creepy. He's just a fucking creep, you know? Because he's just got this sister complex, and it's like, that's not good, you know? There's like 3 or 4 anime tropes where it's just like, why do we keep doing this, Japan, you know? Like, at the very least, guy obsessing about his sister, I suppose it could be worse. It could be going further. It could be going further, and with the age of his sister, that would be even worse than that trope normally is. But it's just like, just stop. Just stop. Also, I mean, we're 30 episodes in now. We're 30 of at least 170 episodes in. I hope the whole show is not Noelle being a tsundere. Like, but they can't. But this is anime. They can't actually just get together, you know? Either they get together or she just gets over it, you know? Because it is sort of a thing of like, well, here's the girl who is kind of obsessing over him and, you know, keeps blushing. How could it be? You know, it's just like, come on. But then again, we are in a slight period of downtime, you know? I mean, last arc, there wasn't a lot of that. And a lot of it was, you know, a lot of it with Noelle was her kind of focusing on how she can help. You know, she got that... pep talk from Fuegoleon and literally got some sense knocked into her of, just do your best, And she didn't. She was helping. She was helping, Asta and Leopold. So that was good. So it's only in this downtime. I mean, basically because it's essentially 2 episodes in a row. Well, no, it's 3 episodes because there was even stuff last, with the recap episode where she's thinking about, her time with Asta, and then she's drinking something. I don't know what the hell she's drinking. And she's just like, no, I can't be, falling for this kid. So, 3 episodes in a row of the most ridiculous, the most, concentrated tsundere, And it's, don't get me wrong, I like it because I like Noelle, and Noelle is adorable. And her being a tsundere is also adorable. But it's, come on, it's now she's literally to the point that she is sitting in the cold of the night with a little match to keep herself warm because she followed him and has no way of getting back to base, Because she has to be there. She has to be there. She can't just go get a hotel room or something. She's got the money. She overpaid that cab flyer, so that was funny because it's how did she get here? And it's oh, there's a taxi service in the Clover Kingdom. That's pretty cool. I still am kind of torn on the brooms because it really is the only thing. In this show with magic and wizards and stuff like that, they don't really have, they're not a lot of the stereotypical wizards and witches and stuff. It's not Harry Potter. Harry Potter, is kind of almost stereotypical, the look that it goes for. But, I mean, obviously it works for that series. But here, they don't really use that. So the brooms are always, a slight disconnect with me. I don't know. Just because it's, a normal thing. Now, the brooms work with the villains. When Catherine had one, or now with this kid that has one, it's that works. But that's because the broom is always associated really with the archetypal witch, the Wicked Witch of the West, It's oh, that's the stereotypical, I'll get you, my pretties. That's the stereotypical witch. But the fact that everybody has that, this dude looks like a bellhop and he's a taxi driver, basically. It's weird too, because they showed it in the last episode in 29. It's weird that I guess Klaus just doesn't have a broom, so he just has his creation basically. He has this chariot made out of his own magic. That's interesting. I mean, granted, Asta doesn't have a broom, but Asta doesn't have magic, so Noelle should have a broom, but she can't control it because she can't control her magical power except with that wand that she has, so I don't know. Anyway, Gauche. I like at least, not only getting a bit of, him quarreling with Asta, but I like, I like that his sister is just a kid, just like a normal kid. She met this fun guy Asta, and then when he starts beating the crap out of him, she wants him to stop, And so she's just a friend. For a second I thought the two of them were related to Rebecca, but they're not. They're just friends from the same town. But she lives at the church. I did like the sister, the nun. I liked her, she just comes in, lays down the law with him. It's no, you're creepy, you're terrible, you shouldn't be around her. Bye. And then she takes her away and leaves, and that's just that. And it's all right. That's pretty good. And it is slightly interesting with the whole thing of oh, he's an ex-con basically. And it's oh, he was a convict, and it's well, but it could kind of be the Sandman, but it's just oh, he's an ex-convict. And he has this obsession with this little girl, and it's I don't think that's what they're going for. I hope it is more of the Sandman thing, maybe he was stealing stuff. Maybe he was a robber. He was trying to steal stuff and steal money for, so that his sister had a good life. And then eventually he traded that for being a magic knight, so... And Yami was the only guy that wanted him. I mean, hey, he's strong. He's just a mess, you know? I don't know. But it's interesting, so I'm hoping we get... I'm hoping this, like, arc or mini-arc or whatever this is, I hope this fixes Gauche, basically, or Gauche, whatever his name is. I hope it fixes him, and, you know, and then we move on from that, so... But yeah, that's 2 episodes for the price of 1. Are you happy? I hope you're happy. And, hey, this was fun. I enjoyed watching the English dub. And, yeah, this is just really nice. Good episode, and I'm curious to see what we're getting next time. So I better get right to it, because I get to watch a 3rd episode of Black Clover today. Isn't that amazing? But that is basically it. With all of that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Black Clover reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.